Looking pretty black and clean. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Oh, sea dog.
There is never a dull moment with the boys on board. But today especially, we're trying to shake off the nerves. Because it's a pretty big day for Delos too. 4 months now, we've been running wires through every corner of the hull, connecting systems, tightening terminals, and hoping that somewhere in all that complexity, everything checks out the way it's supposed to. And today, we find out.
We talked about, Connor, making a push to do something fun. We want to get one of the engine thingies to spin.
What?
It's a motor, not a freaking engine. It's a motor, Connor. It's an electric motor.
I prefer engine thingy.
This is the first real electrical test of the boat. We're checking continuity through the system, making sure the connections are good and we have no shorts between the positive and the negative or to the hull.
We had a 1/2 ohm on the neutral. And so the danger is if there was a loose connection in the neutral bar, as you pump a lot of current through it, you get really hot.
I'm hoping that everything checks out.
Oh sure. Don't tell Bill. Connor made a boo-boo.
Because then maybe, just maybe, we'll get to watch that propeller shaft spin for the very first time.
Love it.
Maybe it's our engine.
Try and move it around without some sort of a lift. Yeah, that's looking good. There, you can feel it go into the cutlass bearing in the back. That ought to be it. Now we can put the motor back, start hooking shit up.
After getting the prop shaft set up, there was still a bit of work left to tie everything together. We've got some pretty heavy cables between the motor controller and the motor itself in the starboard engine room, so I started fabricating a few brackets to hold them in place.
So this is the continuation of the push to test our electric motors. So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating some brackets so that I can route these big, thick, heavy cables, these orange ones here, under the shelf and then down and into the motor controller.
Step 2 was running more cables. These big red and black ones, positive and negative, will connect the bus bar to the electric motor and carry the power it needs to run.
Pretty exciting day today with all the electrical work happening and also the goal to spin the electric motor this week. It feels pretty wild. I've been really busy sitting in the box in the office, just organizing videos, kind of trying to go through a lot of like the little details in the interior design as well. It's a lot of little things to kind of like, so many decisions to take, so many little things to organize. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, but I often find myself putting kind of a lot of pressure to get things right straight away. And I noticed that a lot of the times it kind of slows me down because I then overthink things and I hesitate to start because I want it to be like so perfect from the beginning. And a really good example of this was actually, I don't know if you guys can remember, but when I was doing the porthole model, I really wanted it to be super perfect and precise. So incredibly frustrated right now. What is the purpose of this model? If it's not to the millimeter, like perfect to scale, it's fine. It's more a tool to help me visualize the space. And once I let go of that, it just moves things forward so much faster. And this actually came up recently when I was having a conversation with my therapist. And it's been really cool because through those conversations, I've been able to kind of come to the realization that underneath it all is just, for me, a fear of failing. And because I've realized that, I've been able to kind of change the way I approach things. So I've been able to start a little bit faster, keeping it a little bit messy, trusting myself that like I will figure it out along the way, instead of having everything being like so perfect right from the beginning. And as you guys know, I've been working with BetterHelp, the paid partner of today's video, for a number of years now, and we all go through stuff. And talking to someone, whether it's a therapist, family, friends, can really just make a difference. And even just being a reminder that we don't have to like figure everything out on our own. So if therapy is something that you've been thinking about, BetterHelp makes it super easy to get started. And you can chat in whatever way feels right for you, phone, video, text. So click the link in the description below or head on over to betterhelp.com/Delos for 10% off your first month of therapy. Okay, now I'm gonna see what they're up to over here.
And if you want me to,
Either way.
it's just gonna embarrass you a little bit.
Good. Why don't you do it? All right.
So funny story. Connor loves to talk to people on planes. He was on his flight here and just happened to talk to Morgan here.
Yeah.
One thing leads to another. We go down to Byron Bay and we met, we hung out. Now she's here working on the boat.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
How
Anything
about that?
You want to add to that, Connor?
Well, I don't need to interview Morgan anymore. I think we got it done there.
Done. It's done. Now I'm here sweating away, learning about electronics. And
You ever wanted to know?
yeah, no, actually, exactly how much I wanted to know because I needed to learn all of it. So yeah, this is what happens when you get annoying people sitting next to you on a plane.
Oh, he does talk a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Connor.
It's okay. It's okay.
He's a verbose nincompoop.
These words straight out of his head. He has not adapted the Aussie lingo yet.
Remember that?
Yes, we all remember that.
Oh gosh.
No, so happy to be here. This place is awesome. People are great.
Morgan, what's your Australian name? Nickname.
It's Morgs. Everyone will call you that straight out of the gate. We got Bri, right?
Oh,
Bill,
God,
what's
so
a-
many.
I get a lot.
What?
Billion?
I get billion.
Billion, okay.
Billionaire.
Because I work at a hedge fund.
Okay, there we go.
Bilbo Baggins.
Hey, Kaz.
Wow.
So much.
Hey.
Keep it going, keep it
that
going.
It depends on how bad he screws up.
True.
Kaz is asking about Sierra. Are we gonna get her?
Yes.
We're gonna get her.
I have to go get the daughter.
Yeah.
Finish my beer.
Yeah. Yes, we're gonna get her.
Still recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian says he got her. All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Thanks.
I'm on
see
top
you.
of it.
Well, look at that. After a little break, Senior Connor got back to it, installing the switch panel in the forward cockpit cabinet where all the batteries, inverter, and simply DC gear will live. This was the last piece of the puzzle before we could finally test the power on the boat and see if we can spin that shaft. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous, but I'm also super excited. First things first though, we need to connect the Victron Smart Shunt to the mobile app so we can monitor everything and make sure we're solid before powering things up.
Now the cover's off, I can get the password right off the side. 793333. Oh, this is the best part.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to test the motor. Brian is bringing those connections online now. We are gonna test the bus bar. Brian has his new system he's trying out, and we're gonna do a double check on everything, a sanity check, before we energize the bus bar with 48 volts, which could be exciting if there was a short. We're gonna check that there's no continuity from the big bus bars to the boat, that there's no continuity between the positive and the negative, and that the positive and the negative should be isolated from the hull. So we're gonna do all those checks now. So for the first check, let's take this cable. We're gonna test continuity from the bus bar in here all the way around the boat, and we're gonna use the lead to complete the circuit. So let's take this this cable, let's run it along the boat to the port engine room. And that's where we're gonna check the other end of the bus bar. So we can kind of stretch this out. So we're gonna do continuity initially on the positive bus bar. So I'm gonna connect the long jumper lead to the positive side, and then from the engine room we'll do continuity from the lead, from the basically testing the continuity through the positive bus bar first. So you follow me in here, the bus bar, the batteries connect here, it goes through these fuses, through another fuse into the big bus bars down here. So we should be able to connect to the positive here. So we got to make sure this doesn't touch the boat because this will throw off all of our measurements. So we need to keep that isolated. There, that should be good. Okay, engine room. So we want to measure now continuity from the jumper lead there, and we're going to go to the negative side now. We just don't want to pinch it, because if we pinch and hold it, it'd actually be measuring some continuity from through you into the boat, and it's going to throw it off. So yeah, you kind of hold it like that.
Yep.
So a half an ohm. It's actually a little higher than I was expecting, but
You want me to try a different one?
yeah, 0.8 ohms. You can kind of keep going down the line if you want. So slightly more measured resistance in the negative. It's connected nonetheless, but yeah, interesting.
Okay.
All right, but that checks out. Now we got to check that there's no connection between the bus bars and the boat. So that's the next step.
All right.
So
We ran a few more tests, including a resistance check between positive and negative, and also a check to make sure that the positive and negative sides were fully isolated from the hull. Then we moved up to the bow and repeated the same tests. All was looking good so far with the basic meter we had. After performing these tests, I received a note from one of our patrons that specializes in high current bus bar applications. He recommended that we repeat the tests with the high voltage megger, which is basically a dedicated higher voltage insulation tester, and also a 10 amp ductor, which will test the continuity of our connections under a load of current. I've ordered this equipment, so stand by for further testing. But for now, we should be good enough to move forward with our very basic motor test.
So one of the next things we have to figure out is how to energize this contactor. So power is going to come from his bus bar that runs through the boat, through these cables, and it energizes these bus bars in the system. And inside here is a contactor, which is basically a switch that we can control with electricity. So when we put electricity on some little baby wires, it's gonna allow electricity to flow on the big fat wires. So I'm gonna pull this cover off and show you here. So power comes in down this big fat bus bar, and then we can use these little wires. So back here are contactors. So when we put power on these little wires, these big contactors close, and then power goes from here across into here, and it continues to flow on to the positives. So since we're getting ready to test the motor, we need to energize this ourselves with power, so we know we can actually know how to do it. So we need to make sure we need to figure out what voltage this needs. We don't know what these wires are, so we need to figure out what these are, and then we're gonna do a test to see if we can get these contactors to fire.
Okay, so my boat, I'm a baby learning at this, and my battery is 12 volts, so all the wiring is set up for that. But with this one being more powered, 48 volts, do you have to have special parts to kind of accommodate that current?
Voltage, yeah. Yes, you have to have special parts. Most boats are not set up for 48 volts.
Yeah.
So anything that gets 48 volts has to be specially rated for that. The wiring can handle it, but unless the boat is set up to handle it, you have to modify or replace all the stuff.
Sorry, is this boat unique in that, or are there other ones that are kind of doing this already?
Other boats are doing this already, but still very new.
Yeah.
But they are coming around and making 48 volt windlasses, 48 volt inverters, but it's you still can't find 48 volt water pumps, 48 volt all of the navigation system is 12 volt. Like nothing's on 48 volt there. So only the really large components are switching to 48 volt. Okay. So this boat actually has dual voltages. We have a whole separate 12 volt system that we charge from the 48 volt.
And that's what's running the engine as well.
Yes, that's what's the electric motor.
Yeah.
Yes, 48 volts.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Right.
And that's why we have a contactor, because most switches, especially in the marine environment, are not rated for the 48 volts that this boat has now. So a normal like Blue Sea switch that would be on your boat to turn the motor off is only rated up to I think 36 or 38 volts, and or maybe they say 48 volts, but this system runs at 55 volts. So 48 volt system sits at 55-ish volts.
Yeah.
So that a normal switch can't even be used for it. So we use a contactor because it prevents arcing across the terminals. It contacts really securely, makes the current flow, and then opens very open. So that's why we use a contactor for this high voltage system.
Awesome. All right.
And so basically it's a switch, we just control it remotely.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Yeah. So coil voltage 12.0 volts DC. So we should be good to go to test this. So we got our little baby battery.
That's so cute.
And then we want to do this safely, so we have a jumper lead with a little breaker in it. So if we make a mistake, at least the breaker will trip as opposed to just melting something. So we put the positive here. We put the positive onto the positive. And then we're going to take another lead and go from negative into the negative. So now I should be able to flip the switch and this contactor should chunk to life. Let's see. Yep. So that is working. So we can also, as a test, see what's changing here. And there we go, 0 ohms. So now we have continuity between these things. So it shows we can control the switch via the battery. So good, that checks out. These are the Safari batteries that are going to be ultimately installed in the boat. I think there's 18 of them, if I recall. They're mounted in the starboard side. We chose the starboard side because it actually helped offset the weight of the diesel engine, which is on the port side. So we'll be going over here. But in the meantime, for the test, what we need now, we're just going to leave them up here, parallel, probably 3 together, and then run a jumper lead into our bus bar and energize it. So we're going to connect these up. They stack, but before we stack them, we get access to the terminals here. So this should be the negative, and there is the positive. Okay, so we're gonna make some jumpers. These are big fat jumpers from the batteries into the boat. This is 70 mil cable, 70 millimeters squared.
What we're doing here is hooking up some temporary cables. Connor stripped them down, Morgs crimped the ends on, and we wired the whole thing up.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Give it a nice tug. Oh yeah. Go. Nice.
Say no guts, no glory, Connor. So we push the button?
Does that mean you approve of our tests?
Yeah.
Our temporary hookup?
Yeah. Let's do it. Give me that EDM.
Yeah.
Oh, I won't show anything until I turn the battery on.
That's right. So clearly nothing.
Okay, everybody, stand back.
Oh boy.
Oh, reset it.
Wait. Did I get the right batteries?
That's what I was gonna check to make sure we didn't put.
Yes. Make sure on this side. Did I grab?
Oh,
sure. No! I did it wrong! What a bonehead move!
that's probably why it didn't turn on. It's probably like, uh-oh.
Well, it wouldn't.
Voltage is too high.
Well, it wouldn't.
This is a 12 volt battery.
I know, but it doesn't know. There's no voltage on it yet.
Well, yeah, true.
The other ones are all off.
Good thing we verified that.
Yes.
We should put these 12-volt batteries somewhere else.
Are they all? Which ones did I?
Well, there's two 12 volts up here.
Oh man.
And you were doing so good.
I was doing so good.
I was so proud.
Don't you worry. After appropriately razzing Connor for a bit about his boo-boo, we moved on with the test.
Okay, take two. Oh, 53 volts.
I'm just verifying, Connor. Trust but verified, remember?
All right, good.
So now let's go ahead and give it a shot in here, huh? 53 volts. 53 volts. Boom. Okay, so that's very cool. Now the big test is let's go to the other end. You want to do the honors?
No, man, it's all you. Your boat, your bus bar.
Okay. Which engine room should we check? What do we got?
53.
53.
So now that we've seen that the bus bar works, the batteries work, and our test bringing power in, all of that's working, I really want to bring the smart shunt online, so that way as we test the motor, we can see the voltage in real time and then how much current is being drawn. It should be really interesting. Plus, I get to name the Delos shunt, which will be super fun, so I get to do all that. And I get to make the password, actually, which would be super cool. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to do this. So, we're bringing power now from this big wire through a fuse. They didn't have a small fuse holder at the chandleries. I just took a fuse with a couple spade connectors on the wire, slid it on over the fuse, taped it up for safety, and now I'm going to put this into the smart shunt.
All right, so now it's time to get the power turned back on so we can set up the shunt. So I'm going to turn the battery on. All right, battery should be turning on. We should see a new smart shunt. Yes, there it is. Oh, son of a... Dang it. So it's not the generic zeros. I have to go pull the cover off and look on the side of the shunt, get the password, and then we can set it up.
With all our prep work complete, we're finally ready for the big test.
How's it going down there, Connor?
Good.
Getting that contactor
Yeah.
finagled?
Tell me if you hear a chunko.
Okay, ready? Ooh! Do you want a DVM? You want an ohm meter to check it?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let
Absolutely.
me grab one. So,
We'll take a raffle. Do you want a meter?
Hey, Bill!
All right, go get one. All right, get one.
can you get the DVM off the table downstairs? The flute, the voltmeter. DVM. Digital voltmeter, Bill. And yeah, so we gotta hook our sensor cables into the control box. And then off we go.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so these are the cables. It's basically one cable. This is the control cable. For this, we have a little key. And then we also need to hook up the sensor cable for the temperature sensor, which is somewhere. Here it is. Sensor cable. So this cable tells us the temperature and the RPM and direction of the motor. Okay, so this is the sensor cable.
Nice.
So one end is going to go into the electric motor. There should be 3 cables coming off that. And the other end will go into the control box.
Oh, that's a good fit.
Oh, no, not that. Just come on, you guys, let's do it.
You can also check the pin out. The only wire missing is the inboard forward. Missing there. We can confirm that this cable, yes, missing the inboard forward. Okay, Raj.
And here's the control cable.
Good check. Control
That
cable.
one goes in the same row,
Yeah,
but on the other side.
other side. Yep, other side, right? Because that pin's different. Yep. There she goes. Solid connector.
They both fit in?
I need 2 men on this. That's what she said. No time. But she did. No time!
Yeah. See how hot it is. My sweat's dripping down the down the wire. That's gross. Getting awfully close. Time to go liven up the system with our test batteries. Oh yeah. Check. Power. Yeah, I got power. Should be able to check it with the Victron. Oh, look at that. Delos 2.0 house. 53 volts. All right. 0 amps. Good stuff.
Are you watching current on that?
Yes.
Thing? Can you connect to it?
Yeah.
The throttles are neutral, Bill, and the keys are off?
Yes.
Okay. There goes nothing. Neutral? If anything goes wrong, I just hit this breaker and
Yes.
shut down the contactor, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna flip this on. Should be getting like 50 volts. 53.27.
Hey.
Okay, do you want to?
You do it.
You want me to do it?
It's your boat, bro. You've been working really hard for this moment.
Yeah.
I was gonna blame you when it went wrong, Bill.
I ain't touching that thing.
I ain't touching nothing.
The shaft's out, right?
Okay.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Something turned on.
Should be an auxiliary contactor that turns on in there, right?
Yep, I heard that
I
go.
heard it's some sort of relay open.
Okay, there's a.
Still getting yourself wrapped up in that motor shaft, huh?
That would suck. The status light is blinking yellow one time. I don't know what that means. But
I was about to say, I think we just bumped it.
just a little bit of throttle here.
I'm back.
Hey. Nothing.
Maybe it's our engine.
Maybe. Oh.
Hey! Look at it go!
Down to the box.
Look at it go! 2 amps. 2
1
amps. Wow. Look at that.
That's cool.
Show the power consumed.
100 watts.
That's nothing. You can do that for days.
You could do that for days.
I mean, there's no load on it.
Yeah, that's true. Also, if you put your boot on it, it will
Don't do that, Connor.
Hey, it's running. Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Hear that sound?
Pretty good.
Okay, so our next step is to hook up the monitoring system and the control system so we can see like wattage, temperature, control it with the touchscreen display and all sorts of fancy shit.
Cool.
So, yes!
That's what
We had 2 wins today, guys.
Yeah.
We had a win on the aircon system, we had a win on the temporary electric motor rigging system.
And
2 big systems.
wait, third win.
Third win. Oh, Sea-Dog did some welding.
Always about Connor, huh?
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Don't hit the throttles when you put them down, people. Okay, cool.
Turn it off.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Well, we sure had a lot of fun getting that motor to spin. But stay tuned as we continue to push forward on more projects. Hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll catch you next Friday.
Why don't you have a YouTube channel? You seem to love filming. You filmed the whole Bahamas. You never did anything with it, though, right?
No,
You had
but actually,
hard drives. I remember you telling me that.
I know. I actually have been though. Last month,
Really? Been that big?
editing video.
From the
Really?
Bahamas, or
No, from it's 20 years of sailing. It starts in 2001.
cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun. I'm really excited about it.
It's like an hour long.
I don't know yet.
Yes.
It's on you.
Not only did he start a YouTube channel, he started one from 2001 until now. Overachiever.
Yeah, most people start like a week or two. Not like,
I'm still trying to develop the theme through it, but we'll.
I mean, sailing.
Well, yeah.
Pen isn't working so well. Dang this pen. Hold on. Swapping.
It's sailing, but it's life lessons learned over, like through. Well,
I mean, sailing. Keep an eye out for Connor's YouTube channel.
plug, dinghy ride.
No, the shameless plug.
Yeah. No, you brought it up though, so well done. Yeah.
Plug. You know what Brian charges for a 60-second plug, Connor?
Yeah.
Got it.
So we see currently we have no connection between the two. And I clunk this to life. There we go. My connection's poor here, so I gotta remove this. There.
How was your day today?
Awesome. Very sweaty.
Oh, shoot. Doesn't fit. Okay, I'm going to cut this off and re-put it.
Got the levers. Got to turn this beast off. This fan is so loud. And that contactor. Oh, are you filming?
What should we do, Brian?
You could try flipping that. Good thing I didn't say something I shouldn't say on camera.
What was your favorite thing you learned today?